Well, welcome back. It is Brian with BG Model Workshop, and we are doing a final on our Gastric Group build hosted by Mr. Dylan Thomas over at NYS Modeling. If you are not familiar with Mr. Dylan Thomas, then you are not a very good YouTuber, because that kid is everywhere, I swear. Go check out his channel. Good builder, good all-around guy. He's part of a bunch of group builds, hosting this one, of course. And you can also find out some of his work on NYS Modeling on the gram, I guess the kids call it these days. So, what did we do? We did the 1962 Corvette Gastric Kit produced by Revell. And as luck would have it, this is actually one of Revell's Revell Germany kits, because they took the Roadster and turned it into a gasser. And I tell you what, it makes all the difference. This is a beautiful kit, nicely molded, goes together really, really well, except for one little flub, and that happened to be in the instructions, not in the actual kit itself. The instructions had the leaf springs in the back backwards. So not recognizing that was going to be an issue, I followed the instructions and then realized that my rear axle was going to be a little too far to the rear. So I popped that off, redid everything, put it back together again, and I think we're doing okay. We did want to represent the box art as best as we could, because this kit is actually a representation of an actual car that was built by D&M. They're Corvette restorers in, I believe, in Illinois. And what's funny is that the representation of this kit is so accurate. It even has the phone number to contact the guys on the back window of the car. We'll get to that here in a second. But we wanted to do the Brandywine color as close as we could. And we discovered that our friends over at Splash Paints has this beautiful color, Black Rose Metallic. And it was awesome. When we were putting it down, it was catching the light great, had beautiful mica in it and everything. And then when we hit it with the clear coat, holy cow, it was an eye popper. I could not believe how nice this was looking. And what we're seeing right now is actually 2 coats of the 2K Clear. We know that our friends over at Splash Paints have a 2K Clear version 2 now. I used what I had on hand, which was their earlier version. Still very, very easy to use. Here in the desert, we've discovered that we need to add just a little bit of thinner to just sort of help the process of the 2K Clear self-leveling and stuff. When it's 85 degrees in the garage, and that's where we were spraying this guy, when it's 85 degrees with 9% humidity, that stuff is going to set up fast, and we want the leveling properties of that to do its job. So we did thin it out a little bit, and we figured out the secret for spraying in the desert here. But we've talked to our friends, and they said that their 2K Clear version 2 actually solves that problem. So we're looking forward to using up what we got on hand and then getting some more of that stuff there too. I absolutely love the wheel and tire combination that Revell set up this car with. These fatties in the back here are stupendous. They're absolutely awesome. I love torque thrust 2 style wheels from American Racing, and these itty bitty little skinnies up here in the front, they're just so cool. You're not going to mistake this kit as a gasser. It's just absolutely fantastic. Around on the back side, I love the fact that we have actual transparent red inserts in the tail light buckets back here. We also have the separated chrome bumper, which is really, really cool. I like that. Very, very reminiscent of the 1963 Corvair that I had. They borrowed a lot of styling cues off of this particular generation Vet. It does have the removable hardtop, and let's do that now. And there's the phone number here in the back that I was telling you about there. So if you ever want to give these guys a call, see if they're still in business and want to build you a Corvette, there you go. Let's see, we did a gloss black interior. I was trying to do more of a black cherry style interior, but it turned out to be a little too matchy-matchy with the paint job, so I just went ahead and did a gloss black. And that's all to me on the inside there. And we did some flat black on the floor, and then we just picked out the gauges with the gauge decals that they supply with the kit. They come in both white and black, and we figured the black was going to get lost, so let's do the white. And I really think the white looks more modern. I think that's pretty cool. So let's go along the driver's side. No real issues to speak of at all in the final assembly. There was a little bit of a hiccup in the front, and we'll get to that when we get up there again. But the kit does come with contingency decals, and I like the look of those down through the scallop. The Classy Gasser 2 decal up here laid down really nice. The decals released from the backing, very cool. It was a dream to work with these decals, I swear. I was hoping for more decals to put on this thing, even though it was starting to get loaded up a little bit. But the kit was copywritten for 2013, so I'm not sure when this one was produced after that, but the decals we had in it were pristine. The kit does also offer a decal for the drive belt for the supercharger. I've never actually applied one of those before, so I really like how that looks. It's difficult to read. I don't even think you can actually make out the individual characters on it. They're so small, but I'm hoping I got it on there the right way around. In the front, excuse me, we're dying with allergy problems here right now. In the front, we have the Corvette script decal on there with the badge decal also. Now, they are actually molded into the plastic, and we decided to sand that off and just go with the decal. In the past, I've done cars where they've had scripting like this, and it doesn't really match up well to what's molded in the car. So we decided to go ahead and just delete that and go with the decal, and I really like how that looks. So there was a little bit of an issue in the front here, and that happens to be the Headlight Surrounds. We discovered that because of laying down a couple coats of primer, a couple coats of paint, a couple coats of clear, that it did make for a little bit of a difference in size and shape on the front here. The headlight bezels don't fit on quite right. And I think if I was going to redo this, or if I ever get a time machine and go back in the past, I would warn myself about those headlight bezels. I did discover that you can actually attach those to the body before you paint everything. Attach those to the body and still get in from the back side and attach the headlight buckets, the chrome pieces. So if you want to go that route, that's probably going to be a good way to do it. Otherwise, you could attach the headlight buckets to the back side of the bezels and then attach the bezels to the body, and then use some clay or some blue tack or silly putty or whatever down inside the headlight buckets to protect the chrome finish down there. And speaking of chrome, I did keep all of the kit chrome on the body and the wheels. I did strip off what was in the engine compartment because it just didn't look quite right. I did do some Tamiya. I did different types of aluminums and silvers that I have on hand for Tamiya. Let's get a little closer look at the engine bay. And yeah, I did not realize that there was going to be so much room in there for plumbing and possibly even linkages and stuff. I actually didn't even do any wiring on this kit. I thought we weren't going to have any room. And I don't really regret not doing that, but I both rue and lamented at the same time. Because our poor little distributor, he's really naked and afraid back there. And if I want to go back and add the wiring on that later, I'm going to have to rip this thing all apart because the engine is kind of sandwiched in there. All right, boys and girls, that's going to do it for us. We're going to sign off here in a second. I'd like to say thank you to everybody for all of your thoughts and prayers for Mrs. BG and her grandmother passing recently. We will be out of state taking care of that here coming up this weekend. So you won't hear from us until sometime after the beginning of the next month. I will try and watch as many videos as I can while they're popping up, but again, we'll be doing lots of family stuff, and we'll be in church and all that kind of stuff. And as far as I know, they kind of frown on watching YouTube in the church. So don't quote me on that, but I'm fairly certain. All right, we'll talk to you all a little bit later on. Have a great weekend. Bye now.